Hey guys, and welcome back to the ninth video of this video series. And in this video we are going to create the panels for the blog section. And let me remind you once again, if you are willing to create just one section of the website, you don't have to follow the entire video series. You can just follow the second video in which we have defined the CSS classes that we have used extensively in the HTML, and then after that video you can just follow the video corresponding to the section that you want to create. You don't have to follow the entire video series. So anyways, let's get back to the coding and let's begin with a section, and let's have the class wrapper. Then let's have the font color dark, and let's give an ID, our blog. Then quickly get inside and create a div. Then class d-flex-c to align the contents within this div in different rows but in a single column, and container to add the necessary padding. Alright, then let's get inside again and start with the title part. So we will enclose the title part within a div. So create a div and class text center to center align the text. Then get inside and create a h2 tag, and we will just define our title. And title will have a black color. Then get below it and create a subtitle. Let's open the browser. Alright, we have the title and the subtitle. Now we need to create these panels. So get outside the div which contained the title and create a new div. This div will enclose the panels. Then class d-flex-r to align the panels in one row but in different columns. Then let's give ID. Then let's begin with the first panel, and we are going to define these panels within one article tag. So one article tag will define one panel completely. Then let's have class hover2, because we are going to define a second kind of hovering effect on the image, and the previous one was named hover1, so let's name this hover2. Then m-2 to add 2 rem of margin all around it. Then get inside and create a figure tag. Then within the figure tag create a tag or the anchor tag, and since we don't have any URL for these panels, so we are just going to leave a hash symbol in the reference part. Then get inside the tag and create a img tag to define our image. Then let me just write the source. This image is in the starter files folder that I have provided you already. Then get outside the tag and the figure tag and get below and create a h3 tag, and this is going to define the heading. Then m-1 as usual will add 1 rem of margin all around it. Then text center will center align the text, and heading is the class that we have been using with the title. Then font x2. Pretty simple, isn't it? Then get outside the h3 tag and define a ul tag. Ul tag is the unordered list tag. We have seen this tag before also. And we are using this meta class so that we can refer to the small tags which are below the image. Then create a li tag, and let me just quickly define the font awesome icons for the tags. And let me remind you once again, you don't have to use the same font awesome icons. You can use different icons. Let me change the text as well. Alright, so let's see in the browser, and we have the first image, the title and the tags. And I think I have used less margin with the heading. So if you want, you can increase the margin. And also decrease the size of the font. I'm just doing this to match the style with the example page, but you can do as you wish. Then let's create the paragraph text and add the text below the image. And let's have the margin 2 rem around it, and justify the text. And let's have small font size. Let me quickly copy the text. Alright. Then get below the p tag and create a div so that we can define the button inside it. And let's have 1 rem of margin around it and align it in the center. Then get inside and create the a tag, which is used to define the button that we have seen it before also. Alright, so we have one panel completely. And also this article tag that I have used to define one panel specifies an independent or self-contained content, which means then an article should make sense on its own, and it should be possible to distribute it independently from the rest of the site. And some other usage for the article elements is for the forum post or the blog post, which we are using it here, or news story or comment, and many more. Anyways, then here what we have is one article tag defining one complete panel. So copy this entire article tag and then paste it 2 more times. So let me copy it, then get outside the article tag, write the comments and paste it 2 times. Alright, let's see in the browser. Alright, we have all the 3 panels. Now let's make the necessary corrections like changing the headings, then changing the images. So let's begin with the second panel. So I will change the image source, then the heading, then the tags for both of the panels. You can just keep pausing the video and try to follow it. Alright, so we have the panels and the HTML part is over for the panels. Let's get into the CSS and let's style it. Let's reference to the our blog ID and give it a background. And this background image is already in the starter files folder. You can see in the folder. Alright, it's very light. Then let's add some margin on the left side of all the article tags except the first one, because for the first one if we add the margin 4%, that will be kind of a extra margin. So we will exclude the first one, and for this we will use the colon not selector, and it is also known as the negation pseudo class. So whatever selector we write within the brackets will be negated by the not selector. So here we have written first child, and then because of the not selector it will be negated. So the final effect will be that all the elements will be selected except the first child, and the first child is the first article tag which is on the extreme left. Then let's add the 4% of margin. Alright, now let's add some transition effect to make it look good while adding the hovering effect, and also give it some borders. And it depends upon your choice also. If you like it this way, you don't have to add the border. Let me copy this and paste it, and just add colon hover so that we can style the hovering effect. And since border is already defined, let's remove this and instead add a box shadow effect. Zero is the horizontal offset, 20 pixel is the vertical offset, and 80 pixel is the blur, and 0 is the spread. So for the H offset or the horizontal offset, a positive value puts the shadow on the right side of the box and a negative value puts the shadow on the left side of the box. And we have given a 20 pixel to the vertical offset, which means the shadow will be below the box, and if we have used a negative value then the shadow would have been above the box. Then blur is for the blur radius, the higher the number the more blurred the shadow will be. And then the spread means a positive value increases the size of the shadow and a negative value decreases the size of the shadows. And anyways, if you don't understand it, it's okay, I'm going to make a separate video to explain how box shadow works. Then let's style the meta class which is used with the font awesome icons. So let's make them inline block so that they are aligned in the same line. And let's give them a font size so that we can make them small. And I think the font awesome icons are not loading right now, maybe because of the network issue, but anyways it will work for you. The font awesome icons will load. Then let's add the margin and divider after each icons. So let's reference that. Alright. Now we need to remove the last divider, which is after the second tag. So for that we will use the last child selector so that we can refer to the last li tag and then remove the divider. And also this colon after is used to create a pseudo element that is the last child of the selected element. Then let's remove the content and the margin. Alright, so the panels are pretty much complete, and we can just go ahead and add the hovering effect. That is the second hovering effect in this video series. So let's refer to that, hover to space figure. Then let's define the background and overflow hidden. Then let's reference the image within the hover class, and let's add some transition effect. Then let's transform the image, rotate 15 degrees and scale 1.4. So initially the image will be rotated as well as it will be a little big than it is right now. And what we want is that when we hover over the image, it should rotate back to its original position as well as it should come back to its original size. Alright, then let's define the hovering effect. So for transform, rotate 0 so that it comes back to its original orientation, and scale 1 so that it returns back to its original size, and opacity 0.8. So as you can observe, there is a separate hovering effect over the panels and there is a different hovering effect over the image. Alright, now we need to take care of the media queries, because when the screen width falls below a certain breakpoint, we want the panels to be aligned into different rows instead of all of them being in the same row. So what we want is below 768 pixels screen width, we want the panels to be aligned into different rows. So for that we will use the d-flex-r class. And you can see that we have the class here with the div, which is the container for all the three panels. So if we change the flex direction of this class, then all of these three panels will be aligned into different rows. Alright. So with this, our block section is also complete. Please move over to the next part of this video series. Thanks for watching.